Let me first talk about an unusual phenomenon we have observed. When we interact with different people, we are very different. With some people, we can talk about anything, but with others, we are very quiet. Some people make us feel boring, while others make us feel funny. We like to use the funniness to evaluate a person, but this method will make us ignore a more important question. How interesting can you make others? Or, how interesting can others make us? Why do we have so much to say around some people, but become so empty, boring, or even dumb around others? Why do some people ask us what we are busy with recently? We can talk excitedly, but when the same question comes from other people, we can hardly remember who we are. To understand this phenomenon, we have to realize a subconscious ability that we have never noticed before. When communicating and interacting with others, we can always keenly capture such subtle signals to what extent the other party can understand what we say and how much they appreciate us, such as whether the other party's eyes flash with interest when talking about a certain topic, how much can he keep up with the pace, to what extent can he accept our true selves, what of our true selves shocks them, how much can they handle in stride, how much of our inner complexity and entanglement can they safely accept. Rather than causing misunderstanding or discomfort, how much of our true self do we need to hide from them in order to avoid making them feel alert or react critically? Based on their feedback on these different questions, we unconsciously form a clear and proactive view of how much this person can really understand us. In short, if we feel that the other person can deeply understand us, we will be more open and talkative. On the contrary, if we feel that the other person does not understand us to a high degree, we will instinctively become cautious and choose to remain silent. This also explains why some people can become good partners for others to talk about everything, and others are willing to confide in them because they open up many spaces in their hearts. Or in other words, they are willing to think deeply, inwardly. Of course, this process is not simple. Many corners deep in our hearts actually hide some very scary things. These corners are full of truly terrifying losses, pain, fear, and chaos. If we never want to touch those corners, it is completely understandable. However, the reason why a person feels funny and humorous is largely because they dare to explore freely in their inner world. They are familiar with and even at ease with the sadness, darkness, torment, and possible shame in their hearts. When they can live in harmony with their own anxiety, sadness, weirdness, and stupidity, according to a positive interaction principle, they will also accept these aspects of others. The inner areas they have explored can also be explored by us because they dare to have a deep dialogue with themselves, and we are also happy and willing to communicate with them. The topics that they feel safe in self-exploration, we can also share with them safely. This tells us a secret to becoming a more interesting person. To explore and understand our inner world deeply, we need to bravely explore every corner of our heart. Self-exploration not only helps us grow, but also quietly shows others that we are a person who can safely listen to their private thoughts and feelings. When we dare to explore ourselves deeply, others will naturally find more topics to share with us.